What does balancing your hormones have to do with skin cancer or actually even skin aging? Let's talk about that today. This is June and it is Skin Cancer Awareness Month. And even though it's not a high population that gets skin cancer, a lot of times when women do get it, it can be deadly, especially melanomas. So let's talk about that today because skin cancer is also connected to skin aging, and I know everyone cares about that. So let's just talk about it a little bit here. Doing a little research, I found that there's so many estrogen receptors on the surface of the skin. And estrogen receptors from studying breast cancer are very apt to possibly start cancer, because that's what happens in the breast and all types of female-related cancers. So, what are our choices? We can totally stay out of the sun or use a bunch of sunscreen, but using sunscreen doesn't always work because there's still as much skin cancer, and it's actually going up today more than in years past when we didn't have all these sunscreens. So what happens is our skin, our shield, our microbiome on our skin actually gets weakened by just the way we live, the way we eat, drinking, caffeine, sugars, all those types of things. And when this gets weaker, we're more susceptible to the damage that the sun can do. So we can't handle if we get a sunburn, because it's a sunburn over the years that really causes the issues. People that have darker skin don't get as much skin cancers. It's more the Caucasian Americans that will have a higher chance. So let's get into that a little bit. We know all cancers are related to sugar. So consuming too much sugar is always going to throw off your insulin. It's actually going to throw off your cortisol a little bit because it's stressful on the body. So when insulin and cortisol are off, it tends to cause our progesterone levels to go down, leaving us estrogen dominant as women. Now, the problem with estrogen dominance, it leads to all PMS issues, it leads to all menopausal issues and symptoms, but it also causes weight gain, so nobody likes that. But in the skin, it's actually going to leave us open for a process called glycation. And without getting too deep, glycation is a process that happens in the skin when sugar is attached to proteins. And it actually causes, it's connected to collagen issues, and it causes the skin to be more rigid, there's more wrinkles. So glycation is something we never going to want, okay? So that comes with estrogen dominance, and when estrogen is dominant, we crave more sugars, we eat more sugars, we actually cause a circulation of estrogen with the pancreas, which is a whole nother topic, that causes the sugars to be recirculated, which is why we have more cravings. So estrogen dominance is always going to kind of mess with our blood sugar and cause other symptoms such as craving, which is going to make us want to eat more sugar. But estrogen dominance is actually linked to certain types of skin cancers, and lack of progesterone, which is kind of the same thing as estrogen dominance, is connected to skin cancers as well. So at Be Balanced, we are going to help you balance your hormones. So a simple thing that we teach besides lifestyle changes is using our natural hormone balancing creams. We're going to get into some sunscreens and some other tips in a minute, but our natural hormone balancing creams, Pro Plus, which has progesterone in it, and Soothe Stress. This is not HRT. This is natural hormone balancing, which is a totally different thing. We don't give estrogen. We don't give testosterone. We give our stress cream, which actually helps to lower cortisol and give the body what it needs to make cortisol, as well as helping to nurture the adrenal gland with a little bit of maca and adaptogen herbs like that, that are going to just help calm the system and calm the stress response. Then, on top of that, we can pour in some progesterone, and that gets our progesterone up to help balance it with estrogen. And our Pro Plus cream can be used in the morning or at night. We have different protocols. We do everything based on a questionnaire. So it's very simple to get your hormones balanced. And then if you want to lose weight, we have a full weight loss program. So this is the foundation. Let's work internally to help to balance the body so it's less susceptible to not only skin cancer, but skin aging. So that's the foundation. Now let's touch a little bit on sunscreens. Obviously, it's best to not be out in the sun too long. So I'm going to the beach soon, and what I'm going to do is have an umbrella and a towel and kind of stay under that. But yes, when I like to take a walk or when I want to go in the water, I'm always going to put something on my skin. So we're going to talk about that. But if you're going to be in the sun a lot, like when I like to snorkel and you're like this and your back is out, like depending on what type of bathing suit you have, I always just wear a t-shirt. It's just easier. And now they have a lot of shirts that have the ability in them to protect you from the sun, which is really cool. You see a lot of little kids in them, but adults are starting to wear them as well. But what about sunscreens? Well, there's a lot of chemicals in sunscreen, and what's that doing for our skin too? That's not really good for the health of our skin. And if you're at the beach for a week and you all the spray-on ones now that have all the alcohol, they're so drying. So I'll say at the very least, if you put them on, make sure at night you take a shower and really scrub it off. Maybe use an oil-based moisturizer or oil. I like sesame seed oil or coconut oil. Coconut oil isn't as moisturizing, but sesame seed oil with little aromatherapy can be very moisturizing. So at least you're moisturizing overnight before the next day going out on the beach. It's hot, it's dry, and you're spraying on more chemicals. So let's talk about some chemical-free sunscreens. The best chemical-free sunscreens are ones that use physical barriers against the sun. Titanium dioxide is a popular one, or zinc oxide. Now, I know what you're thinking of all the lifeguards with the white on their nose. We're not going to ask you to look like a snowman. There's been so many advances in sunscreens now, so they can have them in there and actually have minerals in there. And now a lot of times they'll even have a little shimmer to them, which kind of helps to camouflage body flaws. So I love that. So just giving some example, like these are just two just basic ones. No shimmer, like Sand Cloud Mineral Sunscreen 30. You don't really need more than 30. I mean, like 50 and 80. Like, how long are you in the sun? Don't be in the sun that long. It's not good. So 30 is usually good. Some people can get away with 15. But Pacifica, I like this because it's a nice light spray. It's not drying. And it does look a little white to you rub it in. But it's very, very light, and it doesn't feel like it's drying your skin. And it's healthy because it is not chemicals, it is minerals. But then some of the more fun, Kapari, I love this brand, but they came out with this. See, look how much I used already. This you spray on, and it has the coconut oil, so it's moisturizing, and it also gives a light shimmer, and it's going to also have protection. This one, I think is, this one's 40. So I broke my rule there. This one's a little higher, and sometimes they put more in because these go on a little lighter, and they want to make sure you have a little extra protection there. So that's just a good one. But one of the other ones that I really like, that's kind of a beauty, a fun one, is Color Science. Now, this one's 50, but this one I got because it has a little color to it. So I tend to be more pale, and I'll use self-tanners. So this, if you're like, I didn't get to use self-tanner, rub a little of this on your legs, and it'll give a little color. It is a physical barrier against the sun using, I believe this is titanium dioxide, but my all-time favorite is I use this on my face. It's called Glow, and it looks like it's a white, but it's pearly. And I rub that on my face and chest, and it gives a glow, because who's going to wear foundation on the beach? I don't even wear foundation on the beach. I wear lip gloss, but not foundation. And I love it because it gives a nice glow. It's waterproof. It's a pretty high S. This one's 50 as well. So I don't mind going with 50s or higher ones if they're mineral based. But when it comes to the chemicals that most people use, just stay at 15 or 30. So that gives you a couple of options. There's so many things out there. You can go to Sephora, you can go to Ulta, you can go to a health food store if you're trying to stick with these. But a lot of companies now are starting to be more aware, and they're starting to say, listen, people don't want chemicals, they want minerals, and that's basically what they're using. So these are just a couple of tips. Don't spend a lot of time out in the sun, or if you're at the beach and you want to go for a walk or even snorkeling, maybe you do it early morning, or maybe you do it later in the day. That time between 10 and 2, the sun is the hottest. If you're going to snorkel during that time, or you're going to take a walk, clothes. I like to use gauze or light, like linen type clothes over a bathing suit when you're walking because it's not as hot, and you can still have a little sunscreen on underneath. Hats are great. I'm a crazy hat lady, so I love like a cowboy hat or one of those big sun hats. That's going to protect you. So as many physical things, an umbrella, a towel is going to be better, but then when you're depending on sunscreens, you want ones that have physical barriers against the sun and not chemicals. And then the foundation is balancing your hormones, because I guarantee you, if you balance your hormones, you're going to be able to lose weight. You're going to feel great in that bikini or in that bathing suit before you even have to worry about getting in the sun. Then when you're out in the sun, you're going to have a less of a chance of developing these skin cancers over the years when the hormones are actually balanced. So hopefully that helped you, and you enjoy the rest of your June and the rest of your summer, because with Be Balanced, we take the guesswork out of women's weight loss and wellness, and taking care of your skin is just a part of that as well.